Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you today with a new tutorial based upon a template. So let me show you what we're going to be working with. I am calling this template Shape Shift because we're going to take a shape, split it in half, shift around how we do it, and create a card. So normally you see this done with circles, so that's what I've done. I'm doing this with circles. So I had 3 circles of varying sizes that I cut. I used the stylish shape die, and all I did was I basically cut these in half. I took my trimmer, I figured out about how wide these were. This is about 3. So I'm going to move it to about the 1.5 inch line, and I'm just going to slice it in half. Okay, so not quite in half, but close enough. All right, so now that we've got these 2 halves, we've got a total of 3 circles that I've cut in half. Now, the most important thing to remember is that these have to be done exactly the same way. In order for this design to work, you have to layer these up the same way. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I'm going to use some liquid glue on here just because it gives me a little bit of time to get these into place. If I can get my liquid glue out, that would be good. Why does this always happen? I hope everybody's having a good week. It's hot here today. It's been thundering like most of the afternoon, but no rain yet. And of course, my golden, poor Oliver, he just doesn't do well when there's thunder. So it's been an interesting afternoon with my golden boy. Well, we're just going to give up on that glue, and we're going to try a different one because that one doesn't want to come out. Let's hope this one will play a little bit nicer. There we go. This one decided to work. So I want to make sure that I have sort of the bottom edge and that straight edge evenly matched up. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing over here in the exact same position. Because trust me, I messed up a few of these until I realized they have to be done exactly the same way in order for this design to work. Okay, and we've got our last one here. And again, for this I chose to use 2 pieces of designer series paper and a piece of cardstock. You could do all cardstock, you could do all designer series paper, as you will see in some of the other alternates that I'm going to show you after we get this card together. So I like this one because it looks complicated, but it's not. It's just cutting circles and layering them up. All right, now that we've got these layered up, let's go ahead and put that on the front of our card. Now the trick is you want to get these middle layers to match up. That's how you're going to get that design that just sort of flows together. So I'm just going to put these on my card front. I'm not going to glue them down just yet. Okay, and then I'm going to leave one there. I'm going to go ahead and glue the first one down. If you want to use Stampin' Seal on this one, you can. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. Okay, put that down. All right, now I'm going to come and I'm going to glue on this second one. And again, we want to get that middle layer, which on here is that pink. We want to get those pink layers to match up. Okay, that's what gives us that design that kind of flows. All right, now I've pre-cut some greenery. This is from the Paradise Garden stamp set, and I've stamped Lost Lagoon on Lost Lagoon. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add these. And you'll notice I'm putting these opposite of where my circles are. Okay, I thought that would look better, give us a little bit more color in that open space. And I've got two more circles in Lost Lagoon and obviously basic white from the Sending Salutations stamp set. I'm going to stamp a very simple sentiment. Cheers to you, because I have a very little circle. All right, let's go up and layer this on our Lost Lagoon. Okay. Let's put that right on there. And we're going to pop this up on some dimensionals. And let me close my ink pad. You know, I tend to make a big mess. All right, so we've got that done. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back here. This is relatively small, so maybe just 3. And if you want to use minis on here, you could use minis on here. It's not a very big circle. And I realize I'm covering over kind of where our circles meet, but that was just how I wanted to do this one. All right, so we've got our sentiment on there. Let's add a little bling. I'm going to add a little linen thread bow. So when I use my linen thread, it comes off the spool. It's kind of crinkly. I like to just kind of straighten it out between my thumb and my forefinger. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with. All right, I'm just going to tie a little bow, maybe. Got a ton of glue on my fingers. Okay. And then I just kind of like to pull them tight until I kind of get them where I want them. And then I'm just going to trim these tails a little bit. Okay. All right. And then we're going to add a glue dot. We're going to use a glue dot to just kind of put this on. I just kind of think that makes it a little bit easier for some of these smaller pieces. Oh, I hear the thunder again. I'm sure Oliver's going to be running down here any minute. Okay, so there we go. We got that. Now it needs a little bit more bling. A little bit more bling bling. I had some antique pearls. I'm sorry, not antique. Iridescent pearls here. Oh, there they are. They are right over here, just out of reach. All right, let's go ahead and add some pearls. And I'm going to use the smaller ones because I've got a ton of those. So I'm just going to take the pick tool and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle these around. Okay. And I don't know, maybe one more over here. Okay. And that is our shape shift template. Now, let me show you the template again. So we stayed pretty true to the original template, right? We had the half circles. We've got our little sentiment in the middle. We added some greenery and obviously some bling just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But I wanted to experiment with some different shapes. Because I'm like, I wonder what would happen if we used different shapes. So here I did squares. Now I embossed the squares after I glued them all together. I went ahead and embossed them. Same thing. I have the Lost Lagoon. I'm sorry, the pool party matches up in the middle, just like we did there. But how fun is that? So you can use different shapes. Then I went with some rectangles. Now this one I did add another layer because I wanted to do some hot foiling. So I used rectangles and they're like a 2-to-1 ratio. So twice as long as they are wide. Okay. And this is all DSP. This is all cardstock. This is DSP and cardstock. And then I had to do triangles. Now the thing about triangles is these, oh, my little pearl came off the flower. They're basically squares that we then just cut on the diagonal. So this is all DSP. So again, pretty simple, but I think it's a nice little look. So you can start with the circles, right? And then just try other shapes. Just cut, obviously the squares I didn't cut in half. I just made 2 of each square. And the same with the rectangles. I made 2 of each rectangle. So the circles and the triangles I did cut in half from another shape, These I just layered up the same shapes but different sizes. Again, all full measurements are in my Crafty Klock Inspiration Vault. It is a subscription service. It is available to subscribers along with all of the other inspiration sheets. There are over 30 inspiration sheets in there right now, and more gets added every month. So I hope that you liked this. This is short and sweet tonight because it's going to start pouring and I might lose my internet connection because we're on satellite. And Oliver is going to be coming down here going nuts in about 2 minutes. All right, everybody, that's it. Have a great night. I'll see you all next week. Bye.